Yo, what is going on, guys? It's C-Brad. Welcome to another MLB The Show 20 card review. In this one, I'm going to be going over 89 overall face of the franchise, Joey Gallo from the Texas Rangers. You can obtain this card by getting 50 points in the Rangers Team Affinity. If you want to know the best way to complete Team Affinities and get these face of the franchise cards, tons of content on my channel about it. Links are in the description below. So this is kind of a silly card review, and I'm going to take it a little bit of a different direction than what I usually do with these card reviews. The reason I say this one's silly is because everyone knows this card is insanely good. Just the way he looks on paper, pretty much a 5-tool player except for, you could argue, contact. But yeah, above average speed, amazing fielding, amazing power, amazing swing from Joey Gallo. Everyone knows this card is a beast, and yes, I still feel he is probably the best face of the franchise card that you can go after. So what I kind of want to do in this card review, instead of talking about how good the card is, maybe talk about how good he'll be moving forward and kind of how to use him to help you guys perform a little better with interacting with you guys in chat, Twitch chat, stuff like that. I've gotten a lot of Joey Gallo conversations and questions, so let's dive into some of that. So first off, definitely should not be platooning a guy like this. I know this is kind of obvious for most of y'all, but you generally want to platoon guys that either have poor fielding and or splits that are bad against one side. This Joey Gallo actually technically has reverse splits because his contact and power versus left are higher, and I'll show you in the stats I actually hit a lot better versus lefties with Joey Gallo as well. So please don't take this guy out just for a hand disadvantage. You actually gain some attributes hitting left on left with him. Additionally, some people have told me they struggle hitting with this card, and usually when they tell me that, they say something like, man, I just can't hit with Gallo, I'm hitting like 212 with him, or I just can't hit with Gallo, I'm hitting 180. Every time someone has said this to me, they've addressed it under the premise of batting average, and I just want you guys to kind of take a step back and evaluate this card for how he should be evaluated based on his attributes. This card isn't a card that's going to give you batting average. This card is a card that's going to give you slugging. So if you're hitting 212 but 80% of your hits are for extra bases, that's a whole different story than someone like, let's say, Andrelton Simmons, who has no power, hitting 212. You guys see what I'm saying? If your hits are high value and produce a lot of extra bases and a lot of total bases, then your 212 average is more valuable than the regular 212 average. I hope what I say is making sense. So even if you have a low batting average with this card, keep giving him a try, because at least in my experience, if you can connect with PCI on ball with this card, it's going to go a long way. So try to look more at slugging than batting average if you feel like you're slumping with this card. Also take into account sample size. If you say you're slumping but you only have 30 at bats, maybe wait till you hit 100 to maybe pull this guy out of your lineup, because I really feel this is one of the best cards to have in the entire game right now, especially with the defense. So stick with him. Don't just look at batting average. Don't take him out just for a handed disadvantage, all that good stuff. So obviously this is a card that performs better on lower difficulties because of the low contact and vision. However, the stats that I got were exclusively on Legend, and I did this on purpose to show you guys that that a card like this can still do well on Legend. So let's take a look at those stats that I got. My batting average wasn't even that low, so 340 on all Legend games, but a 1349 OPS. You can see 920 slugging. That is an insanely high slugging compared to the average slugging. So that's what you guys need to be looking for if you feel that you're slumping with Joey Gallo. You can see I've had 17 hits in 50 at bats, but 11 of my 17 hits were for extra bases, and over half of them were for home runs. So that's what Joey Gallo is. That's what he is in real life. That's what he is in game. He's a dinger machine, and please don't look at batting average as I go to show you batting average. But yeah, you can see I'm hitting 45 points higher versus lefties with this card, actually, which makes sense given his attributes. Yeah, and lots of strikeouts too. 16 strikeouts in 63 plate appearances is actually really high for me. Again, a product of playing on Legend, but it is what it is. So kind of talking a lot. Wanted this one to be a bit of a longer one for those of you that are interested in stuff like this, because yeah, we all know Joey Gallo's good, but maybe take a little bit of a different approach at talking about how to use this card and how to not get discouraged using this card. Defensively, he got some weird jumps. Sometimes he was getting that hesitation in the outfield when the ball was in the air. It was always on routine fly balls, so it never costed me at all. I just found it really weird that a guy with 86 fielding, 85 reaction was getting that. So we'll continue to monitor that, but he didn't make any gaffes for me in the outfield. Obviously 99 arm, nobody's running on this guy. And as far as moving forward in the meta, we are going to get tons of goon outfielders over and over and over the course of the next couple months. I still think this guy will be competitive with any of them. And if you really have 3 outfielders that you cannot take out, remember this guy can play first and third, and he would play an amazing third base because with the 99 arm strength, he may be able to throw people out on those plays where they like auto dive but the ball trickles away. The guy with 99 arm strength might be able to get someone out on a play, whereas most people would be safe. So, and at the very least, he can always come off your bench with the 112 plus power to both sides. I definitely think this is a card that's going to be on my roster for multiple months. So, yeah, I don't really know what else to talk about with this one. If you have any questions regarding this card, let me know in the comments. I think I covered everything I wanted to. Yeah, he's great. I love him. So, as always, we'll rate him how he rates in the meta, and we'll rate him compared to how much he costs. How he rates in the meta, I'll give him an A, maybe even an A+, for the reasons I mentioned earlier. For how much he costs, he can be free with Showdown. If you're doing exchanges, I'll bump him down from A+ to A. But yeah, definitely still worth it. If this card was on the market for 40K, you'd probably buy him, so even the exchanges are worth it for a guy like this in my opinion. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Also drop a comment if there's anyone in particular you want me to do a card review for. Enjoy these clips, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace. The Tatis was probably my best hitter I've used all year. Besides this man. Holy shit. What's up? I've seen him for multiple years now. I mean, that definitely should not be a bomb, but I'll take it. What have they done, chat? What is this fucking bad right now? Hey, we're on the board. Gallo. I said it should be, dog. Joseph Gallo. Yes. Who is the worst team affinity? Yadier Molina.